Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Business Hub UG. If you're returning and you haven't subscribed, please first pause and click the subscription button. If you have been subscribing, you are your subscriber. Please endeavor to share this information, to like and share. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to you as promised, and to encourage and talk about businesses in Uganda, to encourage the people that are doing business, to share our challenges and look out for the best solutions. How? By bringing to us the people that have done it, understanding how they have done it, the challenges they have faced, so that you don't have to really first fail for you to be able to succeed. We need to learn from each other's experience. Now, in the current era and generation, what is business without tech? Is we all know technology is taking lead and is at the center currently, and for businesses to flourish, technology is one of the elements that needs to be embodied into your business. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I bring you a special guest. Our guest today is a gentleman that is very vast with technology. He's into the tech. They develop apps. He supports organizations in the area of tech. And today with us is none other than Dennis Camera Tusubira. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Dennis, maybe take a minute to introduce yourself and let us, the viewers, know who exactly you are.
As you mentioned, my name is Dennis Camera Tusubira. I'm a computer scientist with training in systems analysis and design. However, I dived off a bit from that and majored into management. And I felt I could deliver more in managing tech rather than doing the core, go up in the ceilings, clean up this, develop. But yeah, that's my specialty and enthusiasm.
Oh, okay. So where does this fall from? Where does this Dennis fall from? Who is Dennis?
Dennis. How can I start?
Maybe taking you back to a little of, your journey, your school, yes.
Well, I pursued a bachelor's degree in computer science.
Yes.
And it was a very interesting journey.
At Makerere University?
At Makerere, yes. And the pursuit into what I'm doing right now started in internship. So while there, I did it from UBOS. So while there,
that is
Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
Okay.
So you find yourself not doing much of what you're taught in school.
Yeah.
And you dive into whatever you find the organization doing.
Yeah.
So around that time, I was IT support. And when you're IT support, you're called in, come, there's a computer that's not working, come in here, we see a problem with this gadget or peripheral, like a keyboard. And I realized, okay, if this is what is going to push me forward, I think I need to do much better. So I decided to look at the other aspect of IT, and that is management.
Okay.
Here, instead of having to go to, if someone calls you up, come fix a cable, anyone can do that.
Can fix a cable,
yes. Yeah. You don't really need to go to school. Yeah, if a PC is off, there are these small things you can easily fix. But what's the challenge? So the challenge is, how best can you make the entire department work? Things like, how can you give knowledge regarding to improvement in operations? So that's where I felt that I think I can do more and better, being the visionary. I was already thinking big. And so the moment I finished my bachelor's, I immediately hit LDC. Actually, very few people know it. But I wasn't doing
the law,
BBL, yeah. So I dived into admin law. So in there, I was just trying to see how best I can be a leader. Leadership, much as you feel it, there are core principles that you need to follow. And with the guidance of that school, I managed, of course, the jobs I was landing were also fitting me into management. So when it comes to IT and really core practice development, I really didn't do much of it. I ended up in managing the people who were doing it, because
okay.
you get chance to do it, but you realize, no, this is not yet for me, or it's not for me at all, and then you just switch. And few people get to realize this at their early stages in life. They just end up going for as long as the paycheck comes in. You just go with that.
I can eat and put food on the table.
Exactly. But for me, I wanted more. And I felt, of course, even the money is different when you're in management.
Oh.
Yes, other than the operational bit. So that's how I ended up even pursuing an MBA.
Yes.
And of course, after that, I mean, there's a bit of a PMP, just to strengthen how best you manage anything that is coming your way.
While we were studying MBA, he was our tech guy.
Yeah.
Any course unit that came in regard to IT,
Yes.
we were sorted, we were sure Dennis is that. So, Dennis, when you crossed over from UBOS, what happened after UBOS? Where did you cross to? What?
So, at UBOS, we were into data analysis.
Yeah.
So, in there, I joined a startup. It was called Cognitive Insights. So, around that time, we were building a fraud detection portal. I mean, here you're going into big data analysis. I don't know if you understand big data. Big data is that data that's generated in large volumes within a short amount of time. You don't even need to type, but for as long as someone is somewhere inputting, it's just being collected. So you just generate a big Excel sheet. So what we were doing was we're trying to build a digital platform that can detect fraud. Now, time and again, we are building these applications, and there is money flowing in and out. But we tend to forget there are always people out there who are looking at where's the loophole.
Where's the loophole? Yes.
And
yes.
if at all it's not the loophole, it is what is your behavior while you're transacting on this platform. Take, for example, if, say, you're using Jumia time and again. So I'll say, maybe if I'm to see how you transact onto that platform, this is how much you transact. Maybe you never go beyond 100,000. Or if at all you're a full-time person who's always buying stuff online, and say, okay, in a month this person is transacting over 500,000. So I know a transaction pattern. But in there are also people who also get an opportunity to borrow. They are borrowing services and apps right now. So there are people who borrow, but then have bad behavior paying back. So ours was to build a platform to train and learn people's behavior, so that once we embed it with any e-commerce platform out there, you're in position to say, this person has been flagged at a certain point, he has bad behavior, you might not pay back. Or if not, hey, you have this person on board, is willing to spend this much. So that was the idea behind it. Of course, in there you do a bit of KYC, credit scoring. You understand how much, if I'm told I'm to give out money to this person, how much they can pay back. Yeah, so it was something we started. And of course, tech, you can't run it on your savings. Yeah, it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
Especially if you dive into those server costs. So we were, around that time, we were running a grant. And before the pandemic hit, of course, so many things had to change. And somehow, somewhere, we had to put a hold on the product. But the farm is still up and running.
The farm is up and running.
Yes.
So is that where you still are, or there is a transition still from that to something else?
So while I was still there, we also built another platform called Uncle Bob. So Uncle Bob is pretty much a mobile app that links an artisan to a customer. So this was developed in the business apps division, because we had an analytics division and another one for business apps. So for business apps, of course, you do websites, the basic website, anyone can do that. And then, of course, a mobile app.
Yes.
So this mobile app, what it does is just to give someone visibility. You've seen cases where people have to write on a tree stump.
Yes.
Or someone's fence. Hey, a carpenter, call this number.
Yes, call this number for a carpenter.
Call this number, electrician.
Or on electric poles, they even put signposts.
And you understand what they are trying to do.
You want a maid, you want...
Yeah, and what they are trying to do is just market themselves.
Oh. Yeah.
So around that time, we were building this application just to give people visibility. So if at all you're skilled in a particular trade, how can you be seen without looking for advertisement, placement in newspapers? So this app was just for you to be placed, and anyone who is in need of that service can be positioned to access you. The way you have your everyday Uber, Safe Border,
Yes.
it is just an app for people.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the app that is upcoming, that is going to be launched in less than a month, in less than 2 months from now. So you're among the first people that are actually getting to have the first information. It's you said it's called Uncle
Bob.
Uncle Bob. So why Uncle Bob? Why? For me, I tried to relate Uncle Bob. Who is Uncle Bob? Like, what
Yes.
inspired this name?
Okay, so the inspiration just came out from a product you can easily relate to. Now, if you pick out a random name, fix it, someone can easily forget it. Yeah. But when I say Uncle Bob is coming, you're like, oh, there's a gentleman. So we wanted life in a product. So we said, oh, Uncle Bob.
Do we have Auntie Bob?
I know, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because we know, because what the app does is just to bring a person to you who can provide you a service. Now, when I say Uncle Bob, they say, oh, Uncle Bob is coming.
Uncle Bob is
you can
coming to
easily
fix
relate.
that.
And we always have these uncles or people in our families that are known. Once he comes in, you're like,
They are
oh, by the way,
fixers.
now that you're here, we have this problem. Like, without even hesitation, the person will be in position to fix you.
Yes.
So the way we came up with that demo was that idea that people can easily relate to the product. Yes.
So we called it Uncle
That's why
Bob.
we called it Uncle Bob. Yes.
Oh, so Uncle Bob links. It's more like me going on Jumia and I'm looking for a product, and then I just order for that particular product.
Yes.
So with Uncle Bob, you say it's about service providers, right? You link service providers to the people that need the services. So how do you get the service providers?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Now, how we get the service providers? Maybe one thing I didn't really mention early, it's we built it for the construction sector. By construction, I mean these everyday masons, the builders, the plumbers, carpenters, electricians. No, we felt that a platform where you can find all these people rather than just asking your friend, hey, do you have an electrician? Can you get me the number? Maki, the person you're getting, you really don't know them. It's just a referral. But here we feel that we can give you a person who has been assessed for their competence. And on top of that, you even have where to go to in case it's not to deliver as expected. So that's the value proposition we always put across.
Okay.
Yeah, and what Uncle Bob really does and how we came up with this is you just simply go download a mobile app, create an account. That's for a customer. It comes so easy. Just create an account, you have the app, and in there you see a list of services, and we are always focusing on those in construction. That is electrical works, plumbing works, carpentry works, welding is in there, of course, aluminium fabrication, and then, of course, vehicle mechanics, because some time and again.
So when you say you just go and create an app, just go on your phone and get the app, you're getting the app from the Play Store.
Yes.
Is it compatible to iOS and then Android,
yes.
any other?
So we have built it in a manner that anyone with an Android phone can access it.
Android, iPhone people should first wait.
No, even the iPhone people can access it, but that is only for the customer app. So for the artisan app, that is the service provider. For now, we only have it in the Google Play Store.
For us,
the
Android
maybe the
users.
artisans,
Okay.
the artisans, not all of them might be having iPhones.
The iPhones.
But say,
the
yeah,
iPhone
but
type.
with demand, we shall always.
We can always upgrade.
Yes, upgrade.
Ah.
Yeah, and for us, for anybody to be onboarded onto this app, we take them through a series of assessments. One is to do with practical. I mean, at the end of the day, if I am bringing someone into your house, you should be in position to deliver as expected. So practical is a practical assessment is key, but that doesn't stop there. We also do a bit of oral. Does he understand what his tool does, what it is used for. Can they really speak up about it? Because he will come into your house or your property, and he can't really express himself.
Yes.
And I mean, in this day and age, it is your mouth that can sell your service.
Yeah, most times.
How best you speak. Someone cannot even know how to do well, but
They speak
they
so
know
well.
how to
We've met
convince
them
you,
on the
like,
street
I
of
can
Kampala.
get it done. Just give me 3 days.
And then you come back, no work done.
No work done, or it is just, it's not right.
Yes.
Yeah, so we do some bit of assessment so that we have cream. Yeah, because when I say an Uncle Bob person is coming to your house, it's not me who's going to show up, but the artisan himself is the one that is going to show up into your home.
So are they required to have, like, say, as you sort them, is it more about their academic qualification? Does that matter as well? Is it just about the experience, or I've had the experience? Do you combine both? How do you sort, especially now that our viewers out there would want, someone may be viewing and is interested in actually coming up to be enlisted on that app. So what do you look out for?
I'll take it as both experience and also academic qualification. But experience takes the precedence. Why? Like I mentioned, these are jobs for the hands. Someone might at least learn from the job. You've seen people mentored by an uncle or by a certain workshop that they got to learn how to do it. But when you come with a bit of qualification, I mean, it puts you at another tier that this person has been exposed to this kind of training with a certain entity. And even us as Uncle Bob, we don't really have a school per se. What we do is we work with vocational training institutions to help us assess the competency. Because even if you were to ask me, if I'm assessing an electrician, what do I base at? I'll only say, oh, by the way, we have our assessors, talk to the artisan manager. He has like a curriculum that they look at. Yes. And it doesn't stop there. We also go to the regulatory bodies. Say, if I'm claiming Uncle Bob as electricians on the platform, does Electricity Regulatory Authority know about them? Because you cannot have quack electricians and then you're claiming to have a good product.
A good product.
Yeah,
So I'm
'cause they're
wondering.
not regulated.
Yes, the regulatory bodies that you're working with, and also the institutions. You mentioned that you're working with some institutions in ensuring that you have quality. You mind mentioning some
yes.
for reputation purposes?
Yes, so we've already been in touch with Data Mine Technical Business School.
Yes.
Actually, those were the first people we onboarded as partners regarding our training center.
Okay.
And why we reached out to them was we needed to know what revolves around training and assessment. Because for us, we were going out there and say, oh, by the way, if you have this skill, come join us. If you have this qualification, come join us. But for you to make it onto the platform, we need to at least have a sieve to understand, okay, this one is good, but not as good as what we want.
What you want.
Yes. So some made it, and there are those who didn't make it.
So you've already onboarded some people?
Yeah, we've been onboarding since 2022. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you known about this?
Yes. So, and why we wanted to do with to start with the onboarding process is we don't really want to talk about this application that you can find a professional here when you have only 2 people to serve the whole of Kampala. It wouldn't make sense.
Yes.
So we had to push the supply side. Those are the service providers, the artisans, to see that we have at least a pool of them. That if you make a request in Chiwatole, we've already made presence here in Chiwatole, and then there are people that can provide your service. If you are in Nalia, in Nigeria, anywhere, we've made sure that at least every segment has a service provider that can at least give you a service.
Give a service.
Instead of always having to order, no available artisan. And
Yes. So
it defeats the
as
purpose.
of today, maybe April 24, how many artisans have you onboarded so far?
So far, we've onboarded those that have really gone through our competency assessment.
Yes.
We've onboarded about 1,214.
Wow.
Yeah, but we've identified over 5,000.
Who are still there waiting.
Yes, they are there, like trying to make it.
Yeah.
And the reason why we want a cream is quality assurance. We do not want our product to be, for lack of a better word, one person can mess up the entire thing.
Yeah, true. The reputation that it comes, and yet it has taken you long to build.
Just getting into the market. And the thing about product market fit, you need to know what is going to trigger the people you're providing a service to. We are living in this digital era where one mistake like this, someone will just post.
Out here in social media.
Yes. Say, no,
1 minute, everything is out there
Exactly.
and spoiling whatever you've worked for.
So we are very keen to see who is onboarded. And we try to see to it that we take them through the process of, if I show up on a job, they are called soft skills. If I show up on a job, how do I act? How do I present myself? And if at all I did some bit of painting, did I clean up where my place of work was? I mean, there are those small things you do, but make a lot of sense to the person you're providing a service to. And we felt, yes, we should emphasize this before anyone is saying, okay, I'm verified to be on this application.
Okay. So for someone who still wants to join, now that you've onboarded, say my viewers, really, not to close us out, for them that may be discovering this now.
Yes.
Is there an opportunity, is there still an open door for users that would want to onboard? And how can they actually get to put their services or put themselves out there to want to offer the service?
Yes, so we created different channels where you can reach us. We have a call center. We have even a direct line where someone can just call. It's 0741 088 376. That's one I can pick off head. And
the others that we will share with them in the link. Please see them.
Yes, you can also send in your mail. You can send us mail rather at info@unclebob.org.
Yeah.
However, the first one is through the app itself. So once you download the app, there is a section that says become an artisan. So all you have to do is just feed in your name, your NIN number, and then send in that information. So at the back end, someone at the dashboard will see someone is expressing interest to be part of Uncle Bob. And then we just pick it up from there. The time we have a training and assessment, we just give a call and say, we have a pool of these people, express interest. Let's subject them to some bit of assessment and training. And those who pass, we onboard them.
Onboard. Now that you've spoken about the need, that actually someone needs to have a national ID is what we are talking about here. So the identification number, especially in the elements of Uganda, is that, do you in any way also work with the Interpol or NIRA or the security? Because we know with your NIN, they're able to trace you, and in case you have any bad reputation or any cases that Interpol has picked you on, is this something that you've considered and ventured into to protect the consumer?
We have a data privacy and protection policy regarding all the information we gather. And of course, capturing the NIN, this is triggered by the stakeholders we have on board. And one of them is NSSF.
Yes.
I'll dive deeper into their journey with us a bit later. But why we want this information is we always need to find an easy way to track you. In case something is to happen. You could be on a site and something goes wrong. Where do we start from? And we generate a lot of information from whatever we can pick from you. And of course, before anyone gives us this information, they are sent to it. Say, I'm willingly giving you this information.
You can use it.
You can use it for promotional purposes regarding this application. And of course, it gives them confidence that the data is being protected. But at the same time, we're also protecting ourselves. In case someone is to come back and say, by the way, I've seen a picture of one of your artisans on maybe a billboard, maybe that is for later.
Yes.
And and how did I get there? We have some sharks. The moment they see something like, did they get permission to use this?
Yes.
let me get into them. Yeah, but we try to pick all the necessary information from an artisan so that we can find best ways to track them in case of anything that is to happen. Say if you're on a site, something has gone wrong, do we have a next of kin contact? If at all maybe you didn't show up and maybe you've gone missing, yet the job request was there pending. Do we know your LC? Do we have where to start? So it doesn't even just stop at the NIN alone, but even goes as far as also there is small information you can pick around you, even the people you've worked with. Now, the NIN also helps us on one of our stakeholders, like I mentioned, NSSF. Now, in there, we have a working relationship with NSSF, and I don't know if you've heard of voluntary savings.
Yes.
Where people can choose to save a certain amount of money. And why we decided to work with them is one, before we onboard them, we offer financial literacy classes.
Yes.
And these classes are just meant to help them understand the value of savings. If you are to notice, these people do not have a digital footprint, a financial digital footprint.
Yeah, yeah.
They always earn through cash.
Yeah.
The closest thing to that is mobile money. So if you can get someone and ask them, how much have you made in a month?
Oh, what have you saved? Like,
What
can
have
you
you
track
saved?
your
Yes.
accounts?
And you'll be shocked. Someone might not be in position to tell you. And yet they've made a lot of money, but it's just not listed anywhere.
Yeah.
So as Uncle Bob, we felt this could be a value we can give these artisans.
Yeah.
And by that, we know if you can trace your savings or how much you've even made within a certain period of time, you're liable to some of the bank products.
Yes,
if I
yes.
say, Uncle Bob, I have 50 electricians here, this is how they've been performing on our platform, can you maybe give them access to these micro products by the bank?
So
Maybe
you
to get-
guarantee them?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Because senior, we grow with loans. I rarely do you hear someone saying, with my income, I've managed to do this. We always have big visions that can
Yeah,
be
because the
accommodated
challenge
by these
usually
basic-
is where banks have to ask for property, land titles,
Yes.
for them to be able to give you the finances that you need. And yet, these people do not earn money in that big sum to be able to. Maybe most of them have not invested.
Yeah.
So it has
Even
kept.
On top of that, me and you could have a salary, always have a salary. Maybe at the end of the month, I know maybe on the 25th, my account will be credited. The bank knows that. If I go in and say, oh, by the way, I need a loan, a salary loan of this much, they'll be like, based on this, you're liable for it. But for them, they have nothing to show. And we felt that is something they can pick up on. If I'm to take you back, now, for them to be liable to some of these services by NSSF, I mean, to get an NSSF number, you need a national ID. So if we already captured all that information, it is very easy for you to get an NSSF number. And each and every job that you work within the application, I emphasize within the app.
Within the app.
Yes.
Ah.
A portion of it is credited to your NSSF.
Is that like a particular percentage? If
I
you
know.
say.
That's why I mentioned voluntary. So before you onboarded, you sign a particular document that talks about your benefits, how much commission will be deducted, and how much you want to save whenever you get that job. So it is that percentage that you've listed that we consider as a portion of your savings whenever you work.
Now, having looked at the app from the service provider side, the artisans, just to be sure to capture it, you said the current service providers that are currently onboarding on that app are which ones in that category, listing them?
Oh, okay. So, like I mentioned, we focus mostly on construction.
It's construction.
But later, once we get enough traction, and
Then you can expand.
Yes. So, in the application, you'll find builders. You'll find electricians.
Yes.
You'll find welders. You'll find carpenters. You'll find plumbers. You'll find painters. And vehicle mechanics.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, being on the other side of the user, as the user, now me, how do we get to access Uncle Bob?
How you get to access as a user?
Yes.
All you have to do is go to the Google Play Store or App Store. Just type in Uncle Bob. You see an icon that has an orange icon with a U in there. So it's just Uncle Bob. And then you
just
download. Then, for a customer, it's so easy. Once you download, you create an account, set it up, and then you'll be in position to get access to all the services. And one thing I didn't mention is we do not stop at just giving you people or artisans or professionals. In there, we have embedded something like a hardware store. And this is just to make it easy for any artisan who's on the site to get access to products. You've seen cases where someone is in your premises and he says, no, I'll need this such and such an item if I go to the plumbing. They always have these weird names, female port, male port, what. Yeah, so, and then once he moves out, he comes back after 2 hours or 3 hours. You know how much time is wasted in there. So we felt once they're on site, they can order for these products through the application and then have them delivered so that there is minimum wastage.
So you're working with different hardwares?
Yes. So what we try to do is partner with so many of our hardware shops. And within Kampala and the Metropolitan, we always reach out to them, say, hey, by the way, you supply this, we want to use your supply chain and see how we can deliver some of these products.
Is that window closed?
Oh, no. It's
very open. Still open? You have a hardware?
We never,
come register here.
We never put a halt on that.
Yes.
People are always in need, and we know time and again you might not have access to these entities.
So my interest is, in the event, now I'm looking at myself as the user, I would want to use your app to be able to access a plumber. Is it now, if I call them in, am I just paying for the service? And if I have the ability to buy my own materials, because I can easily, is there like you tick what exactly you are facing for you to determine the kind of plumber you're going to send me, to determine the goods that you should come with, or it's about me, I order the person, then they come and we negotiate on site.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's a very interesting question. Now, the way we designed the app flow was before anyone provides their service, let them show up and make an inspection, and from that inspection, they will give you a quotation. Because you cannot say, I want someone to paint my home. They don't even know the size of the walls. They don't even know the structure of the house. They can't come in and say, okay, pay 100,000 or pay 500 without really doing a site visit and establishing the quantity of materials that will be needed. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, so what you have to do is request for a service. And that service you're requesting for is an inspect and quote. And it comes at a very cheap figure.
At so what is that
between 10 to 20.
$20,000?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Shillings.
20 Ugandan shillings. Okay.
Yes. And in there, it is just to facilitate the person. But Makiu, this money is not given to the artisan immediately. So it's a way to protect you and them for the commitment on the job. So once you make payment, it's deducted and it's kept in a virtual account. So there you've committed to see that someone comes to your home. But at the same time, the artisan is also protected that the time they've invested in to show up to your home, at least it won't be wasted. The example I normally use is you've had cases where you have a problem in your house, and then you say, I need someone to do my tiles. Maybe they are broken or cracked somewhere.
Yes.
And then someone shows up, they make a quotation, and they're like, okay, I'll call you after 2 days, or maybe after 3 days. Makiu, the guy has invested time. He has put in his transport, and he's hoping to get them in the job. But in there, someone else tells you, there's another person.
There's a cheaper option.
Yes. So we wanted to give value for the person who you choose to show up. Once he makes a quantification that fits in your pocket, maybe you should be in position to agree, say, you know what, on such and such a day, I'll have the money ready for you to start. Okay? But the initial amount for him to move
to your place is the 10K, the 10 to 20,000.
20, yes. At times it can even be 50, depending on
your location.
Not location, but even the kind of service. Because the way you quantify electrical will be different from welding, will be different from masonry, will be different from painting. So all these people cost different depending on their time they are giving you. So we also did some bit of research to understand how best a person's time can be quantified regarding inspection. Yes, so if someone comes to your premise and they give in their professionalism and professional guidance regarding a particular defect you could be having, then once the job is complete, by that job it's inspect and quote. That's the job. It's not inspect and execute.
No.
Yeah, inspect and quote. They've come, done the inspection, they made the quotation, the job is done.
Yes,
So
that's a
what
20K.
comes after that is,
Is
him
another
getting
now
paid.
ordering of,
Yes,
of the.
he gets paid, but Maki, remember I mentioned, of that 20,000, there will be a deduction for NSSF.
Yes.
Remember, we're saying we are helping these people
If they have
save.
signed up for
Yes.
okay, yes.
Must anyone to be verified to show up to anyone's house, they must be registered with NSSF. At least it's a
Oh.
benefit we're trying to give them.
Oh,
to
so that's a
encourage saving.
compulsory.
Yes, and that's why
okay.
we are very keen when we are doing these training and assessment.
Yes.
We have a segment, it's a general plenary, and also we take them through that bit of soft skills and financial literacy. We emphasize that every job that you are to get, a portion of your earnings will be taken to your savings. And it's for their good.
Now, let's go back, because earlier on when I asked you about what percentage it would be that you deduct, you said they sign up and it's voluntary.
Voluntary,
But
yes.
then it feels, now you've said it is compulsory to register with NSSF.
To be
so
an
what,
Uncle Bob artisan.
yes, to be
Yes.
an Uncle Bob.
Yes.
So what is that compulsory deduction other than the one you volunteer to add on?
Okay, so the deduction, which
Yes.
is compulsory, is there should be a portion that goes to NSSF. It's
What,
not
is
defined.
it percentage?
No, it's not defined. It is now defined by the contract you sign.
So in the current contracts,
Yes.
okay, to make
So
it
if
simpler,
me
what
and you-
percentages do you have?
So if me and you are Uncle Bobbers, like Uncle Bob service providers, you're a painter, I'm an electrician.
Yeah.
While I'm signing, I could be 10% of every job order should be taken to my NSSF savings. You as a painter, you could say, 5%, let it be 5.
So do you have a minimum percentage?
A minimum is 5.
5%.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's not even minimum per se, but for voluntary savings, they have a minimum of 5,000. So we feel every job that you are to make, at least through the platform, should be that amounting to that much. If it's not, at least a portion of it should be incremental to that point before it is remitted to NSSF.
Who pays the transport of these people to my premises?
To your premises?
Yes.
So, that's an interesting question. Normally, there is operating capital as you as a service provider. If someone calls you for a job, you must have some money to move.
But remember, the job, I may not take it. I may
Yes.
not have it.
And that's why I said, before a job comes to you, me as a client or a customer, I commit a certain amount of money. So if I'm to request for, say, painting, for a painting service, it's Dennis, I want to paint my house in Chira. Let me see, if a painter is to come to my place, it needs 20,000. Okay, done. I've committed 20,000. That is for inspect and quote.
Yes.
So once that 20,000 is deducted off my account, it will just go to an escrow account, a virtual account. It doesn't go to the artisan, neither does it go to any Uncle Bob account. So that 20,000 is meant to be deducted soon as you finish your job. So you should be in position to move wherever you are. And what Uncle Bob does, it doesn't find, say, if you made a request for a service, you're here, maybe you're in Chiwatule. Yeah, I use Chiwatule a lot. And then it finds you an artisan who's in Namugongo. It wouldn't make sense. Do you know how many painters you'd have skipped to reach that side? So it brings you the closest
Now, the
painter.
closest where transport is not going to be
so
such
where
an
transport might
issue.
not be an issue. So all you have to do is just pick up your tools. If at all you can't really find the place, there are simple ways you can always call and maybe locate
The
place.
people.
Yes.
Dennis, you talked about money moving from your account. Huh? Money just, the moment you place this order, money moves.
Yes.
How are these payments made? Money moved from when I'm signing up on my account, I have to give you my account details. I have to give mobile money. What are your payments?
So I think the best way to do it is when we run through the app narrations. So how it happens is, if I'm ordering for a service, I'll go to the subcategory. If I'm going to, say, building, I'll go to tiling. Once I go to tiling, there will be a scheduled job. You want to schedule it for another day, or you want it done immediately. You even set the time. And once you set that, it takes you where is it going to be located. You choose that place. Now, to move from there, it will just say, now, how do you want to pay? Say the mobile money or by card. So right now we've fully implemented mobile money because we feel at least anyone with
Almost
a
everyone.
smartphone at least has mobile money running somewhere somehow. Yeah, so money will be deducted off your mobile money. So it's cashless completely. So what happens is, once it's deducted, it sits on an escrow account, and that account holds it temporarily. Now, once you execute, because the moment the app says, fine, you've made the payment, it returns, it has already returned a list of artisans that can provide the service. It's now waiting for you to accept the job. Once the artisan accepts the job, it's waiting for that person to show up. And we made it so smart that even if you are in the time frame of executing, but you're not close to that place by 5 meters, you can never start that job. You've seen people who can be home
and
say,
start
like,
step
you
order.
job order. Yeah, you've started, but the person is nowhere to be seen. So you need to be in a certain proximity to
So
that
what
job.
happens? I have paid up, my money has gone, and this person hasn't showed up. What remedy do I have, me as a user, as a client?
So what we always have, we have a call center. And in the call center, we have someone specifically focusing on artisan and customer orders. And what we do is, whenever there is an active job, someone is monitoring what is happening in there. So if at all it exceeds the time frame it was stipulated, someone called, hey, customer, has that person showed up? Are you having a good service? We are seeing it is going beyond. Because what will make this product good is the ability to get whatever you want as and when you request for it. Now, if people are making orders and nothing is happening, definitely they'll say this is trash. I can't even put my
I can't
money
use
in
it
there.
again.
Yes. So as Uncle Bob, we have a team that is set aside to just monitor all transactions, where they are from the store, where they are for services. In case something is moving beyond its
Required
stipulated
time.
time, someone will be in position to follow up and say, hey, have you gotten your service? And if not, can we send you a person? And then we reach out to the person who we had selected to execute. We get to know what is the problem. If at all it's genuine enough, we're in position to get you another person to get the job done.
For you to be able to safeguard, I know most times by the time we're reporting these problems, we want urgent help. What's your time period from your end, that the promise that you're giving to clients, that within this period, if you lodged a complaint, then you should be served within this period, and if you're not served, then please get back to us for us to send someone else or lodge a complaint? What is that period that you give us?
So about a month ago, we built something called a complaints management plan, and in there we structured how orders go out and how fast they can be responded to. Now, if at all there's an incident, normally we put 1 hour, between 1 hour and 3 hour time frame, depending on where the job is and also our office location. Because sometimes it could be someone coming from office, at times it could be an agent who's meant to respond to it and then give us feedback. So we give you between 1 hour and 3, so that I believe that is good time.
Good time for them to have responded.
Yes.
and given us the services. So we talked about one of the payment platforms that you talked about is mobile money, and then money hangs on a particular account until you transfer it. And in the world of technology, and especially what is currently happening in Uganda, and we're having a lot of fraud that surrounds. And of course, even when, just like in your introduction, that while you're building, someone is planning to look for where is the loophole. Mbakubirawa, where do
Yes.
And then I am here, I want to offer you my service, and I'm waiting on my money to be paid on my side.
Yes.
But what guarantee do I have, especially when it comes to my money while it's still on your side? What are you doing to be able to safeguard issues that may arise as a result of fraud on the platforms of payments that you're working with?
Okay, so what we did was to have, one was a data protection officer, and another one, someone in charge of finance to just monitor what is coming in, and then we eliminated automatic payments, because that's where most people get hit. We've delayed to implement card payments. Reason being, most money is channeled through the card. Someone, you can place in a card, and then before you know it, someone else has made some weird deduction. So right now we are implementing platforms using mobile money. We feel it's secure enough, but we've also made some payout to be manual, a little bit manual. And why we want to do this is you're stepping into an environment that is not properly, how can I put it? Not everyone has done enough penetration tests to see that this system is versatile enough to avoid anyone to hit it.
Yes.
So for better ways to manage how much should be paid out, at least you'd rather have it manual for now. And why we want it that way is we want to control money that is going out. Money that's going out. So you as a customer, fine, you always have these deductions going off your phone. And that authorization comes from you. But then we didn't want to make that authorization to be automatic when we are paying the other person MAQ. They need to also pay for these other obligations they've signed up onto. That is the NSSF bit that I mentioned earlier. And at a later time, we shall also integrate with others. But what we always try to give our customers is confidence in our platform, because we've already done many pen tests. Pen tests are the penetration tests in a system to see that it is secure enough to see that.
You hire hackers to try and hack you.
Not
as you test. I mean, some of the things you are teaching us in
yes,
IT.
yes. Yeah, so because you see, hacking, and I always tell these people that hacking is always an inside job. People invest billions in systems they've built. So once you integrate with those systems, it's until someone internally chooses to create a backdoor to say, you know what, when you send a request through here,
it can go here.
Yeah, it can.
And we chew like 50 shillings off every job before you realize all the money is gone.
Yes.
So now this being a business, element that you're looking at it, on top of offering a service and solving a problem, I believe you're looking at, as the developers, you are focusing it all, you chose to go that way because it's one of your business product that you're creating. So my question would be, you as the developers, mufunirawa, like developer, I keep here telling people, develop apps.
Yes.
You guys, it's one of the ways of creating income.
Yes.
Mufunirawa, like where's the benefit? Yes.
As Uncle Bob.
Yes.
So our model is designed, one, we benefit from commissions. If someone gets a job, a certain percentage of that job comes back to Uncle Bob. I can openly say ours is like 15%. Yeah, and
to cater for all the administrative costs and all that.
And the server costs. Because believe you me, running a tech product is not cheap, especially subscribing to these servers. We really felt that commissions of job requests can be part of them. But as I mentioned, in there, we also look at, we have a hardware store. And whenever people make a purchase of those items, of course, part of it is remitted on our side. So those are our core
ways of how you at least get to benefit from the app.
From the application.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have a question? Those that are watching, do you want to ask Uncle Bob? Do you want to ask Uncle Bob? Go in the comment section. Ask Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob will answer all these questions. I know you're going to answer them live, but I am trying to do the questioning for you. But for now, you ask anything you want to know about Uncle Bob. And for me, it's such a great initiative. Thank you, Dennis. As our viewers ask the questions down in the comment section, and we'll be coming to answer all the questions that you want to know about this Uncle Bob, a service providing app that links the service providers together with the consumers for any services. Now, is there a katelekeka, something that I know we've talked so much about Uncle Bob and so many things. Is there something that we could not have talked about or addressed, but you feel that it is very key and that the audience of Business Hub UG should pay attention to it in regard to Uncle Bob?
Yes, one thing I didn't mention was it's free to join Uncle Bob. You don't really need to pay any amount of money to join the Uncle Bob community.
You just need data.
All you need, yes. Data. So instead of loading data to only watch TikToks, right now I'm asking you, load data. Be part of the Uncle Bob community. Anyone can see you. and it should be in position to you for you to showcase each and every skill set you might be having. And I mean, what does it take? Someone downloading the app, and then you have a platform that gives you free visibility. Yeah.
We can't wait. We can't wait. Oh, I personally can't wait for maybe by the time we air this, it will already, Uncle Bob will be already. Wow. Thank you so much, Dennis. We could go over and over and over and over. We could, there's a lot more to share. And I look forward to us engaging more, and especially with our viewers out there, especially with the questions that come up, and having further engagements, depending on the need, and especially when this rolls out. I can't wait for it. Thank you for honoring our invitation and coming. For our viewers that have kept with us, thank you so much. If you've not yet subscribed, pause. Before you even click out, pause, guys. Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe. We need you to subscribe. Tell the story. Share it out. Tell everyone about Uncle Bob, because we are coming. I hope you're ready for us. You better be ready for Uncle Bob. I have Uncle Bob with me, Nzamwina. I have Uncle Bob Nzamwina. But thank you for staying with us. Please make sure you subscribe, share, like, and leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you so much. Dennis, thank you so much for honoring the invitation and being here to inspire and to also get this product out there. We're excited and we can't wait. To our viewers, thank you so much. And until next time, bye-bye.